So you want to be a 2D VTuber, but you don't have any skills or money, and you want to make sure your model is unique and ethically sourced so you don't get cancelled on Twitter. Boy, do I have the tutorial for you. You will need 3 things: a form of reference image, an art software that allows for both layers and a symmetry tool. Live 2D free version. I of course have a paid drawing software as well as a fancy art tablet, but for the sake of proving a point I will be drawing with my mouse in a 100% free software for this tutorial. First up, your reference image. There are a lot of options out there for a free ethically sourced reference photo. The best option IMO is getting into a fun outfit and setting your phone up on timer mode and taking a self-reference photo. Another great option is something like Clip Studio Paint's posable 3D models, or some great completely free alternatives like JustSketch.me, PoseMe.art, or Magic Poser. For this tutorial example, I will be using free images of models in simple straightforward standing poses that I found on Unsplash. All of the softwares and resources I use or reference in this tutorial will be linked in the video description down below. Second, you need an art software. Now, not just any software, a decent one with layers and symmetry tools. Layers will allow the parts of your live 2D model to move and come alive, and the symmetry tool will save your life when trying to make a good-looking model with limited skill. Now, another feature that I didn't mention previously is line smoothness. Again, a tablet is ideal and would make that not a problem. But with just a mouse we very much have to worry because we can only draw lines so smoothly. So let's start with that first. Right off the bat, with a little experimenting and research. Paint.net does not have a smoothing tool of any kind, so we're going to rule this software out entirely. While my paint seems great and totally usable for making a VTuber, I will not be using it for this tutorial due to a couple things I don't like about it, like the default brush being messy and blue, and not being able to zoom out further on the canvas. Similarly, the process of turning on symmetry in GIMP was far from straightforward or intuitive, so that's out too. I will be using Fire Alpaca because I think it most meets my expectations for easy user interface, default settings, and window visibility that makes sense. So now we start on drawing our model. You will want to get out your reference image, import it into your drawing software, and align the center of the reference image to be directly over the symmetry that we've activated. Now, you can trace your reference 1-to-1, edit your reference, or use the reference as a guide and add more stylized anime features. Again, we don't want to copy from other artists or VTubers directly because a great way to finish your VTuber career before it's even started is to disrespect artists. For the model I will be making today, I will use a beloved and well-established art style as a style reference that captures the ideal of an anime style in a very charming way, kyoani. First, I am tracing the reference image. In this stage 1, want to focus on fleshing out the details and style of the character, so for now I'm working on one layer. First, I finish the body base and facial features and do a rough outline for the character's outfit. If you want to come up with a cool, fun, original outfit, Japanese fashion subculture, visual kei style, idol fashion, Lolita and Oji fashion, mori kei, fairy kei, menhara, etc., are all popular styles that inspire and inform many beloved VTuber designs. Searches on Pinterest will be your best friend. After that, we'll remove our symmetry tool for a bit and finalize the details for the clothes design and hair. I'm creating this character from scratch as I go. If you have some design sketches or references of your character designed in advance, you will have an easier time, but on the spot works too. Now that we have a finished drawing of what our VTuber will look like, we can now draw over it more refined and with more detail. This time, we're going to make sure we separate our layers for Live 2D. This is where I recommend you crack open Live 2D, download the free Hiyori example model found on Live 2D's website, and take a look at how her layers are separated. With Live 2D there are dozens of tutorials all over YouTube and Twitter that go over preparing art for Live 2D, how to separate layers, and how to use Live 2D for rigging and animation altogether. However, I as a total noob to the software always found that tutorials tended to be hard to follow and foreign for a complete beginner. So I really recommend using the free Hiyori file from Live 2D and just studying it, and then trying to reflect what you can from it in the rigging of your own model. I think this way is better for people who are more visual and hands-on learners, so you can really see what everything does and how it works together, but YouTube tutorials can be helpful as well. So I will link some other Live 2D artists who make great tutorials in the description. Another great resource to use if you really want to go all out with the quality and movement of your model is live 2D parameter references. This means things like the head turns and angles, the mouth form, etc. I won't be showing other artists' references directly in this video, but I will link to my favorite reference images for these in the description. If you're not sure if a part of your model should be separated or not, separate it. In fact, just assume everything ever needs to be separated, especially on the head and face. Now, since you made everything with a symmetry tool, you will have to duplicate each of the layers that have separate parts and erase half on each of the layers you have for left and right separation. After that, you will have your model art done and can start rigging. Here you can see in some of my rigging process how I just use the example model from Live 2D as a guide for my own. Since this is a quick example model, for the sake of this video she is just going to have very basic rigging and no physics. Even a simple model can be lots of fun and a great start. Now that we're done rigging our model, we will export her and put her into VTube Studio free version for the final product, and ta-da! Now you are a 2D VTuber and you did it all by yourself.